we're live.
Okay, we are going to call to order a special meeting of the Helotes EDC Board of Directors. Be December 4th at 7 o'clock. Public hearing in accordance with Texas Local Code Section 505-158 and 505-159. The Helotes Economic Development Corporation, EDC, HEDC, a Texas Type B Economic Development Corporation, will receive public comments in relation to the following projects. Consideration for the approval of Flower Eye and consideration for insurance agency. Do we have any people to speak? Then we will close the public hearing and move on to the open session. Do we have any citizens to be heard?
No.
No citizens to be heard. Okay, we will move along to the consent agenda. All consent agenda items listed are considered routine by the EDC staff and are intended to be enacted in one motion. There is no separate discussion on these items unless a director requests it, and in which the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in the normal sequence of agendas. Items. Item 5, approval of the minutes from October 15th. Item 6 is approval of minutes from November 4th. And the fiscal year 25 revenue and expense report dated November 30th. Does any director would like to remove these items from the consent agenda?
No.
No.
Okay, all of those in favor of approving the items?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay,
I'm sorry.
We need to make a motion.
we need to make a motion. Okay, somebody want to make a motion for that? Sorry.
So, Mr. President, I move we approve consent agenda items 5 through 7 as read.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes. Going to move on to items for individual consideration. Number 8, discuss the direction and possible action for the application made by Flower Eye Care PLLC for approval of grant reimbursement under retail and commercial tenant improvement grant. Okay, that's you, Scott.
Not sure which microphone is providing static, but. Directors, so I'll give an overview or background on these two applications that are the next two agenda items for the retailer and commercial tenant improvement program. And so when I came on in March, my first meeting in April, the board put a pause on accepting applications for our incentive programs. So at that time, there were 5 applications in the queue. We've worked through 3 of those applications, and these are the final 2 applications that still need to be considered by the EDC as well as possibly the city council. So with that in mind, just to give you a little idea of what these 2 projects are, I included in the application or the board packet the application for the program. So it breaks down the background of how a matrix was used to score and those types of point system to determine a potential value for the grant that the EDC would offer. And so looking at Flower Eye Care, they first submitted their application on November 19th of 2024. They are a new business, so according to the guidelines, they qualify for up to $20,000 for their potential project. They signed a lease, so obviously this is post them performing this project, and they are up and running in their business now. But they did sign a 10-year lease. They projected investing roughly $250,000 for their build out, and the space that they're occupying is approximately 1,620 square feet. And so I'm going to turn it back to you all, to the board, for you to discuss how we want to proceed with this application. These 2 before you, I did not complete the matrix on. I believe that was done prior to me with the prior executive director, and he would bring to the board a score that equated to a value. And for these two applications, I'm not going to do that. So if you have questions, I'll certainly be available for that, but I'd like for you to understand how you want to move these applications forward if you do.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
We'll start over there. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions, but so this project's been completed, it looks like, from the information, and looks like they've been waiting a while to move this through, so I would say, looks like they've done everything right, the business is open, so the right thing to do would be to move forward and approve the request unless anyone else has any questions. I'd love to hear from.
I don't have any questions at this moment.
No questions?
I do. We have any idea what point score was given to this application, so we would understand the value per square foot that we'd be looking at? Because it's up to 20,000. How do we know?
Well, for this application, there isn't a score that's been provided. So if you want to look at the matrix, we can, and the board applies a type of score for you to work out a value. The way it was done prior to me and the previous applications, the executive director would determine that score and just bring it to the board. I had some issues with the matrix and the questions and the application questions, so I don't feel comfortable applying my own score. If you want to walk through it, we certainly can.
Okay, I'm with Scott. So, refresh my memory. So the way this program was set up, they would submit, at some point, we would say, hey, they meet the criteria. And then there was a prioritization based on the number of whatever point value. So did it at least at the minimum get approved prior to a matrix? Or does the matrix have to be completed first before? I'm trying to remember, I'm not sure.
The way it was set up originally, they filled out the questionnaire. They had to submit everything they had to have everything submitted before they started construction. It did not have to be approved before they started construction, but they had to submit everything before then. The previous executive director would go through the questionnaire and use those answers to fill out the matrix. And then the points on the matrix would determine how much per square foot they were eligible for. And then that would be multiplied by the square footage.
I'm with Scott. I think we have to have, how else, what are we approving?
Well-
Other than, we're gonna reimburse you, but at what point do we know what to reimburse them?
So based upon what is laid out, I think it was 1,620 square feet.
Yes, sir.
Even with the minimum score of 5 points, that's $16,200. If it was approved, it sounds like it was approved at some point with a minimum score, it had to be at least $16,200, that's 20,000. So we're very close, even with a minimum score, maximum allowed support.
So I just find it, and I understand the predicament we're in, it's just, I support, they got into the queue before we paused the program for various reasons. I just don't know, I'm just feeling a little uncomfortable about approving something knowing what the cost is, or what the number is. I mean, I'm not opposed to supporting this, it almost feels like we're approving a blank check. It's gonna be under $20,000, but
No,
it's like, what are we approving?
No, I think if you want it if you want it to be $7,000, the board can determine that and approve that. So it's up to, and it's whatever you all want to make. So that's why I didn't feel, it can be anything up to 20,000 or not approved at all. So that's why I didn't feel comfortable bringing something to you that.
No, it makes sense. I'm new, so I'm looking back at the few old timers.
Both of us?
Jeff.
Yeah, both of us, yes.
And I'm looking for your guys' kind of thoughts on
I
this.
think we go through the matrix right now, would be mine.
I mean, I feel like we had a matrix on this at one point, though.
You all haven't seen this application.
As we're saying, we haven't.
No?
No, there's a blank matrix in the application packet,
Okay.
or the,
Then it makes sense. Let's just go
Instruction
through the
for the
matrix, fill in the blanks,
Yeah.
and that way we have the number.
The other ones you
Thank
did see, Glenn would have done the scoring on those.
It's business.
I thought that was part of the application process, was filling out that.
No, no,
I thought so too.
no, that was done after they turned everything in and went from there. And then the previous director would fill out the point schedule from that,
And then it was presented with everything to us.
yes.
Okay.
So, can you put it up there on the projector, the application? So we've got the point system here.
I don't have it on this laptop. Okay, give me one.
Which page number is
Page
it?
3 of 7.
Page 3 on it, but if you're scrolling through it, it's 17.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the blank one. How about the, which page is this actual application?
So there's only 5, if I read this right, there's only 5 categories, right? in
That's
there?
correct.
Okay, so we can knock this out.
Yeah, it won't take long to go through this. Okay, so. Yeah, if you don't mind this, that's one right here. Okay, so the first area is, does the project a targeted business? Is it retail, restaurant, or bar, office, or other services?
Officer of the
So
service.
it's office or other services, so that would be 1 point.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're gonna do 2 of these, so we're gonna do the first one is at 1, okay? The next one is the building has been vacant for more than 6 months. That would be up to 1 point. Which building was this that it went into? You got that?
I'm sorry, are you asking Flower Ecker?
Yes,
He went into existing retail space. I'm not familiar. There's nothing in the documentation that provides the background of the space being either occupied or empty for a certain amount of time.
well,
But he did sign a 10-year lease.
he did sign a 10-year lease, so,
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
that's down farther down the road. Yeah, that's down there later. Okay, so that was, the address is 12340. Let's see which building that was, and we can tell if that was been sitting empty or not.
What after you go into BCAD?
Well, 340, that is the strip center at Cedar Trail and Bandera Road,
Oh, okay.
the one directly across from the
Or H2PO?
H2O.
H2O. yeah.
H2O, it's where the other water place is. So that place had not been sitting empty, I don't think, for over 6 months.
Okay.
Wasn't it the Santa Rosa, something Santa Rosa before? I'm
Yeah.
trying to see which,
The cardiology clinic.
which one I want.
So,
Is it the cardiology clinic? No, that's 104 and 105. 106 is,
Motion Livingston Meeting, they submit their application, and their first taxable sale date was in February 17th of 2025. So we went back.
right, he did November is when they filled out the application.
Okay.
It's been,
So there was a period. It seems surprising that he could get it, or couldn't make it occupied in that period of time with what he's putting in there though. But
so it's right next to Addie Grace.
correct. Which one? Just next to which one?
Addie Grace. So Addie Grace is the corner,
Okay,
and then it's the one right next to that, which is La Boutique Makeup and Beauty Lounge. That was 3 years ago, though, that's according to the, I just Googled it and imaged it.
I think you're right, the difference between the November 19th and the first taxable typical sale date is only 3 months, so it's not likely that it's that empty for 6.
Correct.
I agree.
So does everybody agree with that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna give.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was a barber shop. It was a barber shop.
Okay, so that's 1 point for that. How many anticipated jobs will this create? Let's see, that should be on the application.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not.
No, I think that's information the prior executive director would get in another form.
Now, I'll look through my files to see if it's in there or see if it's in the
1 to
Position
5 gets 1 point.
Application details. Right. Property. It does not say on here employees. Permanent interior walls, remodeling the office, 2 exam lanes, contract grinding, okay.
My recollection is the same, that's a data point that the executive director at that time would get verbally over the phone or email.
Now, I
Section
actually
on
have
the
a note
application.
on that. So I see where I emailed them in January asking about that very thing. They said that they plan to have 2.5 employees to start and hope to expand from there, and eventually plan to have at least 4 full-time employees once they have steady patient flow.
Okay, so between 1 and 5 is 1 point,
Okay, good.
so we are at 1 point there. Does the project generate sales tax in the city of Helotes? Do you have any notes on that one by chance?
Does it generate, does that style of business generate sales tax for us?
They
Well, they have I think they have a sales tax application.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the packet.
So
Just the amount that they would generate is undetermined.
There,
it's an anticipated 350 in taxable revenue year 1, is what the response was to that question.
350
And 1,000 anticipated.
Of taxable?
of
In
tax.
taxable revenue year 1.
So we gotta do the math, right?
Okay,
so eyeglass exams, frames, those are all taxable services?
I don't know if you can say anything.
Yeah,
The
probably not.
medical piece likely is not,
Okay,
but the goods and
services
services,
would be,
but I don't have a breakdown. I didn't get a breakdown of what that was. I just got around 350 in taxable revenue year 1, anticipated.
okay.
But he's saying taxable. So it doesn't, so he's assuming whatever that breakout is taxable, so. Because services wouldn't be taxable, right? He is saying that, right?
Not from a medical standpoint.
Right, so he's saying, but the key word is taxable. That 350K is taxable.
I can only say what I see.
Yeah,
and
that's what he wrote.
and it said, and they wrote 350,000
1,000
taxable.
revenue.
So at 8.25%. So the question here is,
Do we multiply by eight
hold on,
point?
how much does it generate sales tax in Helotes?
So that's 2.5, right?
So that is.
It should be 2.5.
No, it's gonna be 8.25 minus 6.5, because this, or 6.
6 is what Barrett count,
The state is 6.5, isn't it?
yeah, so we're 2.
6.25.
Our local is 2%.
2%, yep. So we're gonna do the calculations on that. Let's do 350,000 times 0.02 equals 7,000 in sales tax.
I get the same thing.
Same thing. Okay, 7,000. So going off of that, that falls between the 5,000 and 999, so that makes us 2 points. Everybody agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fully executed lease, 3 years is 1 point, 5 years is 2 points, building owner of the application is 2 points. So it would be 2 points because they did 10 years. Okay, so that's 4, 6, I am showing 7 points. Does everybody add correct on that?
I had 6.
I've got 6.
I think you gave him a point for,
Number 2, building.
yeah, for number
space.
2, that should be 0.
Oh, because they weren't in for 6 months.
They were not in it for 6 months. It was not empty, that is correct, so that is 0. So we have 6, so 6 points gives them $15 per square foot, and it is 1,620 times $15. I come up with $24,300,
It does say up to,
and it's up to
up to $15.
up to $15 per square foot. But the maximum that they're allowed is 20. So $15 a square foot is $24.30.
So we're over the 20,000.
So we're over the 20,000 maximum.
So,
So we would, according to the matrix we just worked out, is they would qualify for all 20.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, we have a motion for that?
I move that we approve for $20,000.
Second.
Second, okay. It's been moved and seconded. All those in, is there any other discussion?
is there a factor of, a more,
Follow up.
the value to the city or the value for the upfitting that we're assisting in paying for, that it is non-owner, that it's at least tenant improvement, something that, I don't know, and I hear what you're saying, and I like the
They have-
math. The math makes it so that it's not,
There's an example of the lease in here, though, that
not
is signed.
subjective. I saw the lease, yeah, so, and the reason I'm saying it is, if I apply the same logic to the other application, I'm not sure that I see the other business being of the same, value for the monies that we'd be putting towards it. I'm just thinking, if we approve it this way with just the math, does it make sense that we would do the exact same thing on the other application?
I think that's the only way that we can do it, because that's the only thing we have in black and white.
That's been done.
These programs are going away, and we're revamping everything.
That's
From here forward, that's why everything's paused right now,
Okay.
because this is going away, and we're going to implement something new.
But these business owners applied when.
Before we did this, so,
Okay.
like this one?
Let's stick with the math.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Question before you finalize the vote, I apologize about my delay. Any guidance regarding, if approved, any guidance regarding performance report and payment schedule? Or is that inherent in the program? I'm not sure. I haven't read through that part in quite a few minutes.
So in the previous ones, they were paid once there was a certificate of occupancy and the invoices or receipts were turned over to the director
To account for,
to account for the costs,
okay.
is the way it was done in the past.
So that second piece, I don't recall, though I wasn't on the board, that was a piece that wasn't done necessarily, which was one of the things
The
about.
performance agreement piece?
No, yeah, like they provide like an annual report to verify that they've got 4.5 employees or whatever, right? Is that what you're?
That's part of the,
Did we have a performance report? I don't think we did.
We did not, and that's part of the reason that we are changing this program.
That's what I thought.
Just changing, that's why this program was paused until we come out with a new program.
Okay. I think that answers your question, right?
I think it does state it right here, start work after the project is finished,
You received final certification of occupancy. Grant funds will be dispersed from the EDC. Applicant is responsible for documenting all expenses, submitting upon receiving final approval, 6 months to begin the project. So it looks like it's a one-time.
It's a one-time
non-progress.
payment. And that's on the application, that's on step 4 of the application.
Understood.
Does that answer your questions?
I yield.
Okay. So let's, all those that are in favor of approving for 20,000?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay. Number 9, discuss and take possible actions on insurance agency. Okay, Craig?
You said Craig?
I'm sorry. It's one of those days.
That's
I'm
all
looking over here and I'm
So you're not gonna get much out of me.
yeah. You're in there.
Craig, come on down.
Yeah, Craig, you wanna talk about this?
I can.
Scott.
Yes.
Scott.
So all the same applies, same program. As far as background goes, this applicant is for a farmer's insurance agency. And so they were an existing business per the guidelines, that's up to $10,000 as I read it. And their space is approximately 788 square feet per the drawings that I saw in the packet. And per the application, they were investing roughly $67,000, and they're the owner of the building. So if you want to apply the same methodology to this one as far as a matrix goes.
Okay.
I was looking at the application that was submitted and the owner notes, improvements such as interior walls and finishes, windows, doors, commercial storefront, but also included permitting fees, which would not be one of the allowed expenses under this program. Do we have an idea of what the actual total of eligible expenses would be?
For this particular applicant?
Yeah.
I have not gone through that with them.
Okay.
So the way I did it with the previous applicant that was funded through this program is it was in touch with them. They provided me with all the receipts and invoices. Once I went through those and compared it to what is a valid expense in the application, then I had my own, okay, he meets the qualifications. That's when I dispersed the check to them. So I would evaluate what they turn into me based on how it qualifies to what we're saying is an eligible expense. And if they don't meet it with what they've turned in, I'd ask them for others. And if they can't provide that, then we're not going to disperse funds.
Okay.
That's how I approached it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so y'all want to go through the matrix on this one then, just like we did the last one? Okay, is it a targeted business? Is it retail, bar, hotel? That would be 3 points. Office or other services, 1 point. Real estate would be 1 point. 1 point. Was it empty for the previous, vacant for more than 6 months? Since it's existing business, I would say 0 points. Okay, do we have a number of employees? Henry, do you happen to have anything on that one?
I'm searching to see if I have anything in my notes. I'll chime in. I also, going back to the performance agreement, I apologize. I do see the document for both inside the packet. But I'll continue looking for the one for this one.
Just to add to that, since you're mentioning it, Henry, so if this were to be approved, either application through the board and council, the first thing that's done is the performance agreement gets signed. So that's what's in your packet. And then from there, get all the required documents and things. So we do have a signed contract that we get from the applicant.
You know what, I seem to recall, because this came for approval through P and Z, the expansion of this facility. and I swear, and I don't have the right laptop with me, it talked about how many additional agents were going to be housed in that facility. Do you recall that, Sabrina?
I do, I hate to say, this was so long ago, I thought it was maybe 2 other agents, but
Yeah.
I can't say for sure.
Me neither.
I don't have that data.
You find
You don't have any data for that? Okay.
But I'm looking on the plans and there are a total of 3 offices. So I would imagine if she's been an independent agent and this expansion is allowing her to bring on more agents, it looks like there would be 2, unless, looking at the square, I don't know if this is gonna tell me the square footage, but,
Looks like they have existing 3. They have Carlos Miranda, Noah Pierce, and Christian Sorensen. So they have 3 agents that are working out of that site currently.
Currently,
Yep, according to their current website.
I would advise that you look at that as the number.
Yep, because that is the total number.
So is that the total number? Because, or would it really just need to be the variance that we're helping them expand to? So if they already had 1 or 2, the difference is what we're.
Is really what we're looking at.
Still falls in-
But 1 to 5
1 to
falls in
5.
the same category.
You're right.
So 1 to 5 falls in the 1 point category, so.
So my recommendation is we're best guessing with the data we have available. And if the board approves with what the data we got, I would recommend that the actual people that submitted the package come back. If we guess low or we guess wrong, they would come back and we could always amend it, right?
Right.
But, okay.
If they currently have 3, I think that's the number we go with.
Okay.
But that's, I mean, it's a good information because of the office number and the employees.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go 1 on that. Generate sales tax revenue for the city of Helotes. Real estate is not taxable.
not.
It is in
Insurance.
insurance, insurance agents, that is not correct, that's correct, right? That is non-taxable.
It's not gonna fall under Helotes anyways.
Okay. So, it's 1,000 to 4,999 for 1 point. 5,000 to 9,999 is 2 points, and 10,000 and above is 3 points.
Is it 0?
So if it is 0,
0 points.
0.
that would be 0 points.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody concur?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the building is owned by them, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that would be building owner owned and the applicant, which would be 2 points. So that makes 2 points there. So if I do the math correctly this time, I have 4 points, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that what everybody else is seeing?
Yes.
Yeah.
You must have a minimum of 5 points to be eligible.
Unless they come up with more employees. I don't see any other way that this would work.
Right.
4 points, or it is a taxable where they'd have to come back and prove the sales tax.
Yeah.
That would be the only way that we're gonna bring in additional points. So do I have a motion on, item number 9, discuss and take possible act, to take action on this one?
Maybe we go back and get some clarification on, just say this is where we're at based on the matrix. You know, do you have any further information to, just give the opportunity?
They could always appeal it, right? So as the application says right now, I see no other thing that we can do except for not approve it.
So you want to make a motion and,
I move that we deny the application.
Or do we approve it at 0? Is there a difference?
I think we deny it based on information that we have.
Yeah.
I second that motion.
any discussion?
Oh, we should have discussed first, no.
Well, I mean, any discussion on it? Henry, you got anything over there? I'm gonna give you a chance before we start.
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll take a vote. All those in favor, you have something?
I just had a question. I'm wondering, was the matrix available to the applicant when they applied? Because I know when I apply for things, I would kind of see how I would score before I ever apply. So I'm wondering if they were to take the time to apply, that's the only thing.
I believe it was online.
It is on.
The application
Give
is
me, yeah, it
online.
would give me pause if,
We've
Yeah,
we've had applicants in the past too that did
Yeah.
not qualify.
I would concur that the total packet materials to include the matrix, I think this was the only one that had a findable matrix.
okay.
So, okay, so we currently have a motion to deny the application based on not enough points.
Correct.
Approved and seconded. No other discussion, so we'll take a vote. All those in favor of denying the application, say aye.
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 All those that oppose? Okay, the ayes have it. The item is denied. Okay, we're going to move into closed session. It's number 10. Closed session is in accordance with the provision, Chapter 551, Texas Local Government Code 551.0474, personnel matters, to include the following. Discuss the qualifications, candidates, appointment recommendations to the mayor, and the contract items for the new executive director. So we are going to adjourn to executive session.
Current time?
Current time is 19:36.
We're unmuted.
Okay, we are going to reconvene back at 8:56. Okay, number 11, discussion and possible action for matters discussed in closed session. So,
So, what we discussed was the process for hiring the next executive director. Director Lane, Director Shoemaker, and I formed an interview committee. We interviewed 4 candidates for the position of executive director. And then as requested, we presented 3 candidates to Mayor Whitehead. Of those 3, he selected 2 for a second round interviews, which were recently held. And we will, as a board, be presenting our recommendation for our top selection to the mayor in writing. And I believe the city council will be considering his recommendation for executive director appointment at the next council meeting.
okay. All right, discussion, do we need to take action on that, Henry, to ratify it?
Ratify the actions that the interviewing team did to go from 8 to 3 as a recommendation from the EDC to the mayor.
So, yes. So you want to make a motion to that effect?
Okay, I move that we ratify the interview process and our recommendation to Mayor Whitehead for the next executive director of the EDC.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Ayes have it, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is adjournment. So, we'll end the meeting at 8.